All right, welcome back to another great episode of The Money Pillow. As always, I'm super excited, but this week I am super duper excited. And I've got with me Jeff and... I'm so bad with names. Is it Mandy or Amanda?
Mandy.
Mandy, damn it. All right, I won't do that again. So I've got Jeff and Mandy Rose with me, and you'll understand here in just a second why I just screwed up her name. So I first met Jeff. He bought one of our, many of you probably don't even know, but I have a digital marketing and publishing company, and one of our trainings is a video-based training called Video Traffic Academy. Jeff bought that, became an active member, started sharing some of the videos he was producing. I said, man, this guy's got talent. So I've been paying attention to Jeff for a while, kind of seen him rise up through the ranks and generating a passive income online, and kind of move away from, I think he's a financial advisor, or is that right? Financial advisor? Yeah. Financial advisor now, and move away from that into creating more of a money pillow lifestyle. And a couple days ago, he posted a video on Facebook, kind of poking fun at himself about how when he posts a video, it gets a few hundred hits, and when his wife posts a video, she gets a few thousand. And the content of the video was all about what it's like to be married to a mommy blogger. And I said, wait a minute, Jeff's got a wife that's doing something online. So I ended up looking at her site, and one of the cool things that she does is post her income on there. And I looked at it and I said, oh my gosh, she's killing it. And so I reached out to the two of them and had just a brief chat. So I'm really excited to have them on. We're going to go through kind of their journey and how they got to here. And you're actually going to learn along with me. I don't know very much about the two of them. I just know that's going to be a great story. So anyway, huge kudos to you guys and congrats on your success. I think the last income report I saw, you guys were doing somewhere north of $15K a month in revenue from the different websites. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's been an awesome journey, man. We just started sharing those income reports just over a year ago, maybe 15 months or so. And I think our first one we did 6,000, and then we would drop down to 3,000, and literally has just been exponential growth ever since. And a lot of that's just she's been able to focus more on her blog. I've had a lot more freedom with my online properties, and it's been awesome to see where it's grown in a very short amount of time.
Yeah, I'm looking at this, man. It in December of 2011, it looks like you posted your first income report. And if anybody wants to see these, they are published on the Dollars and Roses website. And if you're listening, in the car on the podcast version, you can go to themoneypillow.com, and I'll link up all of their sites, which I'll mention here in a second. But your first one was December 2011, which is less than 2 years ago. $3,798 was that month's revenue.
Boom.
$3,798. And it's so awesome to kind of see this because it looks like you've posted it just about every month since then. And this year, you have had January, February, March, April. Okay, yeah, you've had 2 months over 20 grand, with the highest one being at 23 grand the last report was May that I can see. Wait, is that right? Or is June here? And I'm looking at a link to May.
Yeah, we might not have it updated on that page, but yeah.
Okay, June is up. It might not be on there, yeah.
Yeah, it's not linked here yet, but May, it looks like you did 16,600. How was June? Was it better or worse than May?
It's better, wouldn't it?
I'm trying to remember.
All the months roll together.
Yeah.
I know July, I think, is going to be just closer to 20, I think. So it's been pretty consistent. That's for sure. So it's been good to see.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, in the brief chat, and I think we'll discover as we go through this, I will predict that you guys will be doing by this time next year 50 grand a month or more. You guys have a huge audience, and there's so much opportunity, and I think you guys are probably both well aware of that. And I mean, you just look at your current track record, you've doubled, it looks like, year over year. So that's probably not even that far-fetched to think that. But I think you'll be doing 50 to 100K by this time next year. So if things continue the way they are, which I don't see why they wouldn't, you're doing a great job. The sites that they have are houseofroseblog.com, not houseofrose.com, but houseofroseblog.com. And the other one is, there's another one, you guys, that's Mandy's site. And yes. Jeff has goodfinancialsense.com. And that's CENTS.com, not SENSE. and you guys have one you do together called dollarsandroses.com.
You got it.
Awesome. And explain briefly, just real quick, kind of what those 3 sites are and kind of what their purpose or niche or how you define them.
I'll let you explain your site real quick.
Yeah, my site is really just like a lifestyle blog. It started as a mommy thing and just like an online diary, but it has kind of evolved into more lifestyle. So I do home decor, fashion, some recipes. I'm not a huge cook, but when I do cook, I post it on there usually. Yeah, so it's just more lifestyle is what my blog is about.
Good Financial Sense was a financial planning, personal finance blog. As you mentioned, I am a financial planner, have my own practice, have been doing it for over 10 years. And I always just had a passion just really helping people just understand their money and just make smart decisions. And that's how that blog evolved. And, first started just to get new clients because I was oblivious. I think we're both oblivious to the online world that you could actually make money while you sleep. And as we started learning more about it, we started making some money, and just thought it would be fun if we did a joint project. And that's where Dollars and Roses came to exist, where we just shared our journey, how we make money, and the trials and tribulations of being a blogger and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I think there are so many people, especially in my space, that wanted to monetize mommy blogs or lifestyle blogs, but they weren't. And so that's kind of where we thought we could help, so we can show them like what we're doing and how we're making money, so in hopes that that would help them.
Oh, that's awesome. And just to kind of break this down, I'm looking at this May report here, which is your most recent. And it looks like in May, bear with me as my computer freezes. In May, and this is something that's pretty impressive too here. How many visits, I guess I don't know collectively, but it looks like in April or May you had 164,000 visitors to your site. That's just such a huge number. Anyway, so yeah, you guys are the houseofrosesblog.com generates over 100,000 uniques a month. Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. What do you usually average? Like 150?
Yeah, around 150.
Okay.
I think I'm up to like 180 right now, but yeah, it's probably average 150.
And then how does the Jeff? How does the goodfinancialsense.com site do?
I'm usually about 100 to 150.
Really?
Google loves to mess with me with all their algorithm updates. So
yeah.
if I'm hovering over 100, it's pretty good. But I've been as high as 150, 180.
Jeez, dude, that is unbelievable. I mean, that's such a huge audience visiting your site. I'm getting excited about the moneypillow.com just crossing 200 visitors a day on average. So give you some perspective. And then how does the Dollars and Roses site do?
That's actually a good one. I don't know. I think that one only gets around 10 to 15,000 a month right now. So it's
only. Look how bashful you are. How humble you are. Only 100.
Yeah, but we know like if we actually spent more time really hammering Dollars and Roses, I think we would do good. But we're starting a podcast, following in all these podcasters' footsteps, but we're just so focused on I've got my book coming out. She's doing an ebook, so we have all these other projects that we do. So if we post there twice a month, if we're good. So
yeah,
it's unbelievable. Okay, and then so looking at this income report, it looks like, where did it go? In May, Good Financial Sense brought in around 6,000 a month or 6,000 that month, and you've got it all broken down, kind of how it came in, which I think is pretty cool. And Dollars and Roses brought in around $500, and then the House of Rose blog brought in around 3,000. So that totals $9,500 roughly. And then you have other niche sites, which brought in 7,200, and we haven't talked about any of those sites. I know you have some, well, being a financial planner, maybe some things you may or may not want to talk about, but can you share a little bit about the other niche sites and what those may be and how they work?
Yeah, so the other niche sites are just topics. Those are more my baby than hers, but basically they're, being a financial planner for 10 years, you get expertise in a variety of different topics. I don't want to be too vague, but they're all centered around knowledge-based stuff that I know. Stuff that it's easy for me to talk about and share information about, and just try to identify some of those key topics. And they just happen to be in the personal finance, financial planning space. It's fairly lucrative if you find the right niche. So that's just what I've been focusing on.
Got it. Okay, very cool. And when did you guys? Let me ask. When did you guys get started?
We both started in 2008.
Yeah.
I know I claim the birth date of Good Financial Sense of July 2008.
I think mine was a few months later because he was hassling me for months about starting a blog, and I was very resistant. And finally, I started one just to make him happy. So it was a few months later, I think, after that.
Score, I won.
Yes, you did, and I hope you give him kudos all the time because
I give him all the credit.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so just backing up. So this was back in mid 2008, roughly. And kind of what was your motivation, Jeff, originally to get started?
For me, it was all being a financial advisor and finding a different, unique way to market. I've always just been looking for new ways, and I remember reading this article talking about if you want to stand out, that you need to start a blog. And what really stood about that article was I didn't know what a blog was. Like I was.
Are you serious?
I'm not exaggerating.
Was this in 2008?
I want to say that was either the beginning of beginning 2008, beginning 2008. I read this article, said you need to start a blog, and at the time I thought a blog was MySpace.
Got it.
I
get it.
That's what I associated with it. At that time I was not on MySpace, was not on Facebook, hadn't even read I might have read a blog, but I didn't know if I was reading it. But yeah, I was entirely clueless.
Was this like an article in the newspaper or print or on the web somewhere? Or?
It was in a trade magazine. I think it was Financial Planning Mag.
God, how funny.
Yeah.
You got to reach out to that author.
I used to. I don't read them anymore. They're kind of boring.
You got to find that article and send the author a thank you note.
I actually have it somewhere. I saved it because, and then when I read it, because when I went to Google and started searching for other financial planners that had blogs, at the time there were literally like a handful, and I mean like less than 5 that I could find, via Google.
Sure.
And I just thought, oh my gosh, did I really just find a niche? Like I've never found a niche in my life. I don't know.
You're like, I'm first. I'm here. I'm early adapter.
So I literally just dove head in, thought of the domain, got it registered, but didn't know how to do WordPress. Started on Joomla, which some people may or not know, and didn't know how to run it, and it was almost embarrassing at first, and just did it for 9 months with seeing absolutely no results whatsoever.
What kept you going?
I don't know. I just had this belief. I just really believed that I was onto something and that this would be something. I guess just the fact that the internet's kind of a big thing, kind of a big place to be, and I just had confidence that it would end up working out. And thank goodness I didn't quit.
Yeah, no doubt. And it's interesting to me, just hearing this. And so you had no results for 9 months?
The only results I had that I was able to get on like local media. I was contacted by CNBC, flew out to New Jersey, met with an executive producer about being on a show that ended up being canceled.
Oh, God.
So I had little neat stories like that, but as far as like any monetary results, zilch.
Zilch. And so you're just so excited about this, you're bugging your wife and getting no results to start her own?
I knew that she wanted to start one more for her family. I knew that she would enjoy it. I guess I also wanted her to kind of see what I was doing so she could relate to it in some way, somehow.
Yeah, and he was staying up to like 2 a.m. and I would be like, just come to bed. So I really think he probably wanted me to start just so that I would be like addicted like him and we could be doing it together.
Oh, how funny. How funny. Awesome. Okay, and so you said you had no results for 9 months other than a TV appearance or some local media stuff?
Yeah, no results. And then I ended up Go ahead.
I was just going to say, did that local media stuff end up resulting in any business?
Eventually, yeah, but not in that first year. I started connecting with other personal finance bloggers, started learning about SEO, linking back, just all that stuff that you should be doing properly. So I went on a campaign to help my blog rank for Financial Planner Illinois. Like that's what I was trying to rank for. And I ended up getting an email from a lady that had the Yoast plugin that showed on my contact form that showed like what she typed in to find my blog. And she had typed in Certified Financial Planner Illinois and contacted me and didn't really know anything about it. She came into the office and she ended up being my biggest client ever. And she actually still is.
Wow.
And she lives 15 minutes from me, but she found me via Google. And that was like, yes, finally. And so that was cool. But then when I started connecting with these personal finance bloggers, I befriended one that also had a military background, and we just started actually talking on the phone, became pretty good friends. And he shared with me how much he was making on his blogs. He had 2 sites, and he was making between $30,000 to $40,000 a month.
And this is back in 2009?
This would have been back, been 2009 when he shared that information with me.
Is he still blogging?
He's absolutely,
Yeah, he's probably killing it. Yeah.
So that's when he told me that, it was like, wait a second, you're doing what? You're making how much? And just like I said, I was oblivious to that whole scene of making money via a blog. And that's when I started diving more into like learning how he's doing it. He shared a lot of information, which he didn't have to, but it was cool that he did. And that was, I say, like the aha moment that really started why, the blog has progressed to what it is.
Do you still communicate with him?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're still good friends.
Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. You'll have to share this with him because you're giving some kudos there. So anyway, all right. So you got this connection, start realizing there's a huge potential there. You got this huge deal out of it. I mean, just out of curiosity, what kind of, from a monetization standpoint or revenue standpoint, personally, what does that mean to you that your biggest client, does that bring in a couple grand a month, $4,000 a month, or?
That one was roughly, I want to say $30,000 to $40,000 a year is what that client brought in. And it continues to bring in.
Yeah.
It's not a one-time thing. So.
And this was in 2009?
Correct. Yeah.
So if we say 4 years ago, that's been a 6-figure reward for your year.
Yeah, and there have been others. I mean, she's the biggest one, but there have been others that I contribute, and I don't even include this on our income reports, but I contribute at least 100,000, if not more, that of new clients I brought via the blog.
In annual revenue.
In annual revenue, correct. So that's one thing that it's been huge, and not to mention the fact now when people, and I'm not even really trying to grow the financial planning practice. I mean, I've got a good core client. I'm really enjoying the online space, but still, when people get referred to me, they go to the website. They go to the blog, they check it out, and that's what I love hearing. It's just more or less a way to check my credentials, so to speak. And
oh, absolutely, yeah. And this is the Good Financial Sense.
Yeah.
.com.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
When you Google your name, does it pop up first?
Yeah. And there's me, and there's a actor in Georgia, and then there's a guy that sells golf polos. So.
Got it. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I can totally see that happening. So this is probably working for you in ways you don't even know. There's probably people that are referred to you that come in and probably never even tell you that they saw this, and this probably gave them a lot of credibility, or gave you a lot of credibility and validated working with you. So very cool. So all right, so you land your first client, and then you meet somebody shortly thereafter. You start sharing information with, or sometime around that same time, and you then get the idea that you can start monetizing it, and Mandy, will come back to you in just a second, but I'm just curious about the path of Jeff and Good Financial Sense. So what was your next steps? Are you about a year in at this point?
I would say about a year in. And so, I went on this huge campaign trying to rank for Financial Planner Illinois. And when I say huge campaign, because I was doing a lot of guest posts, and then linking back to a landing page I created. And that really helped, one, connect with other bloggers, helped, generate traffic to the site. And then I thought, well, you know what? If I get ranked for Financial Planner Illinois, why couldn't I rank for other search terms that I felt that people would want to find me to hire me to be their advisor? So how to roll over your 401k, how to open a Roth IRA, and all this stuff. And so that was, once again, this was still the mindset. I was still trying to get new clients. I was not thinking of monetizing in any other way. And then that's when I finally figured out AdSense. So I just threw up AdSense on the blog, and it's one of those stories you make $3 in a day and you get super excited.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
And I started getting more excited making $10 from AdSense than I did from getting a potential new lead, which is just kind of crazy to think about it.
It's funny because that would be huge income in comparison, so bigger payoff. But yeah, no, I get it, and that's it's almost more quantifiable or measurable in a more direct kind of way. So it's just kind of feeds that you want it now, and you know what I mean. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a big data junkie, and I get more caught up on stats than the same kind of things you do, like the big wins. So anyway, all right. So very cool, and we'll come back to you in just a second. But actually, let me just keep this thought going for a minute. So you started adding AdSense, earning $3 a day, and then did that just grow over time, or was that something that picked up right away?
Yeah, so it did grow, and I think the highest month I ever did. So just quick thing, I changed my business structure. I don't want to get too complicated, but I used to be in a situation where I had a lot of compliance restricting me on what I could write about. And basically, my compliance department would have to pre-approve everything that I put on my site, which was the biggest headache in the world. So I finally changed that. And actually, what you see in the growth of our income reports is because of the freedom I had with my blog to basically do what I wanted to do. Somehow, they allowed me to put on AdSense, which I don't think I had to ask for permission and they approved it. I don't really think they knew what they were approving because I don't think they would have. Because, I had ads for Fidelity on my blog, and to them, that would have been a straight conflict of interest. But anyway.
Yeah, that's too funny. Yeah.
But they approved it, and I think the best month I ever had from AdSense was like $5,000. And that would have been January of, 2011, I think, possibly.
Did you do a book launch or something around then, or?
No, it was just I had found some really good keywords that I was ranking pretty well for, and was doing. I mean, I was on cloud nine. Like, my blog is relatively new. I'm getting over 100,000 visitors a month.
Yeah, because you're less than 2 years in at this point. Like
exactly.
A year and a half.
And once again, I was clueless. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, and I was still seeing results. And that was all awesome until April 2011, April 14th, I think, or 13th to be exact. Not that I remember specifics, but my site got hit by Google Panda, I believe, Panda.
And what you mean by, or what, just for anybody listening who doesn't know, is Google ranks stuff based on an algorithm. So if you go and search how to build a swing, it'll show a certain result based on an algorithm that runs in the background, and they update that. I mean, about annually, every other year?
Now they're rolling updates. I mean, so you don't
little
know
updates and changes all the time. And what ended up happening is if how to build a swing.com was ranking number 1, it may drop off the face of the map and be 10 pages deep based on some sort of change in the algorithm. And so the Panda update came about. I remember hearing from everybody. We get a lot of search traffic, but it's not a big deal for us, so I never pay attention to it. But I remember hearing everybody cursing Panda up and down because everybody lost their rankings. And I heard a few people excited about it too because they jumped right up to the top and whatnot. So that's what Jeff is talking about, and that affected you. How bad?
Bad, bad. Like, I seriously went into a state of depression. How bad? 70%.
Wow.
70% drop in traffic.
Wow, and revenue, I would assume, probably.
And revenue.
Yeah.
So I went from making $5,000, let's say $3,000 to $5,000 a month to about $600.
And what happened from there?
I took some time off. I was still blogging, but not nearly at the pace I was. I did some soul searching and really tried to remind myself why I started the blog in the first place. I was getting new clients, but I really started I've always enjoyed helping people. Yeah. And I just went on that path again. And then I started doing more video at that point, started dabbling in video, which, some of those were horrendous. This is before the Video Traffic Academy. But just like I said, just really found what I was passionate about and started focusing on it. And literally it took me about 6 months to get back to the traffic levels that I was, but I wasn't at the income level. And that's the sad thing. Even though my traffic has been up, my AdSense has never been the same. But then I started incorporating other types of revenue, diversifying, like you preached earlier.
Well, so what do you attribute, just out of curiosity, what do you attribute the traffic and the AdSense differences to? Why did it change so much? If the traffic got back to the levels, or was it the intent of how people were landing on your site and the keywords they were searching? Or
I guess it's more or less the keywords, but to be honest, I really have no idea. This has actually been a common theme that a lot of other of my blogging friends we've always talking about this, and we're all kind of in the same boat. We've all got hit at some point. We've all finally recovered, but the income from AdSense at least has never been quite the same.
Was the keywords, did you get back up for the same keywords, or were they different keywords bringing in similar traffic? Or
I think they definitely been different keywords. I know that one of the keywords that I used to rank for, it was Roth IRA conversions, for anybody that cares, and it was a really hot topic in 2010, and it ended up being kind of a non-topic after that year. So that's probably part of it.
That was probably a huge part of it, I bet. All right, and so 6 months later, you kind of recover back, and you started diversifying the ways you were bringing in income outside of AdSense and got back up to a similar level. So by the end of 2011, you were bringing in close to $5,000 a month from that.
Yeah, so then it started getting back up there, and I mean, even I was just looking at, I have to remember from income reports. So
Just vague ballpark. Like,
yeah, I was actually probably not that high. I'd probably say more like in the $3,000 range.
okay, all right. So, but still isn't bad. I mean, what are you putting into it on a weekly basis?
It's come and gone. Like I still
At
I
that
would still
point.
say 30 hours. 30 hours.
30 hours. Yeah. So, I mean, it's not a bad income, $3,000 a month, but you're probably, I mean, obviously you're generating more than that because you're getting clients that are coming in and hiring you and whatnot. And at that point, I mean, had you had multiple clients come from the site that found you?
Yes, absolutely.
30 hours a week. And then outside of that, from your business standpoint, how much were you working in the business? Another 30 hours or 20 hours? Or
Yeah, about that. I mean, I do a lot of blogging during the day as well, so I mean that helps. You know,
kind of
it's-
merges the two or mixes the
Yeah.
two? Yeah. And I could see a good case for that. I mean, and out of curiosity, what do you guys work now individually, like on a weekly basis? Is it 80 hours a week, 20 hours a week, or?
I know I'm probably cranking 70, 80 right now, just because I mean I have my book coming out, so I
Yeah.
mean that's been a huge time. I don't think call it time suck, but that's basically what it's been.
Yeah.
For me too.
But I
I
mean, how
can
much-
imagine.
But I mean, typically,
And a normal. I mean, obviously, you're doing a book launch, and there's some importance in working really hard on that, so you see a lot of success and a good reward from that. But what on a normal, like prior to starting the book deal, 30, 40, 50?
I say 40ish for me on the online side.
And Mandy, do you? What are you putting into your site roughly, just on a weekly basis now?
I probably spend about 24 to 30 hours a week.
Oh, that's great. Okay. All right. Let's use this kind of as a segue into your story, Mandy. So Jeff won't come to bed. Finally, you give in to his, like, you should try this. It's so fun. I mean, you won't be in bed either. We'll be up working all night together. I mean, kind of how did that look?
Yeah, pretty much like that. My approach was completely different than Jeff. I started it blindly, but just kind of as an online diary.
Right.
Journal just to document. We had family that lived far away, so it was kind of a way for them to see pictures of our family, and so it kind of started just like that.
Did your family enjoy getting those blog posts and seeing that?
They did.
Yeah, that's cool.
They really did. So we would get feedback like, "Oh, we love your pictures," and then what really changed my perspective on it is I started connecting with other mothers and other moms that were kind of in the same situation I was in. So,
Wait, how did this happen? Were they finding you just randomly and then going like, "Oh, Mandy, your site's so cool. I love your, like how did that happen?"
No, really, I was probably finding them and being like, "Hey, your site's so cool," and I was like, "Look at me," like no one really probably found me at that point. I was just finding other blogs and commenting, and so then once I would comment, I would kind of become noticed, and so I just started kind of connecting with other moms out there, and I was like, wow, this is like a community. There's a lot of people that aren't sleeping that are moms right now.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so it was just really fun to connect, and I think that's probably initially what got me hooked in the first place, I guess.
The sense of community and
Yeah.
everything that came from that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that. That's a big, from a psychological standpoint, that's why we do a lot of communities for all of our products and stuff. People really value that and love it, so I completely can understand that. So you started in 2009, though, is that right?
It was 2008, but yeah, maybe close to the end of 2008.
Late 2008, okay.
Yeah.
And is it fair to say that throughout 2008, you didn't earn any revenue from it, and it was just diary-style posts to share with the family for the most part?
I think it's fair to say that I was not earning revenue on my blog until probably a year and a half ago. So
wow.
I just really kind of my backstory. I worked in a corporate job at a healthcare company, and I was a benefits coordinator, and I would just blog in the evenings, just for fun. And then Jeff started, obviously he was addicted to blogging, and he started needing more help. And we had 3 kids at this time. And my job wasn't real flexible. And so it made a lot of sense for me to quit that job and start working for Jeff's blogs and Jeff's internet stuff. And so I did that. I quit my job in November of 2011 to work from home and to work on his sites and to kind of help him with his videos and just kind of taking his blog to the next level. And I realized, wait a second, like if I could be working on your blogs like this, why can't I be working on my blog like this?
That's so funny.
Yeah, so I went to my first blogging conference. Gosh, was that 2011 as well? I think it was the same year. And so that was the very first time that I really looked at my blog as more than just a hobby. And I started realizing that it could be a business. And so I came back from that conference like all gung ho, like, okay, I'm ready to take you down, Jeff Rose. Like I'm gonna start making more money than you, you know? Like it was kind of like this mentality, like I wanted to show him that like I could really do this. All
right, so 2008, 2009, 2010, most of 2011 or mid 2011, you hadn't earned a penny on your site. You're kind of building a community, or no? Were you getting people commenting? Right?
No, I was definitely connecting with other people. I wasn't networking like I should have been. I think I had maybe put up like blogger ads at that time, so I was making like a little bit. I want to say like what, $100.
$100.
$100. So I saw that it was doable, and I thought if I could just get my traffic up, then that number is just going to keep going up. And so I just started hardcore focusing on my blog and taking a little bit of time that I was spending on his and focusing on my own stuff. What I realized is that not that many people were interested in Johnny going to the park, and a lot of people were interested in like home decor, room makeovers, or things that were inspiring people to do their own home decorating, or DIY projects or recipes.
So you start making a couple $100 a month. Jeff at this point is probably $3 to $4 or $5 a month, somewhere in there. And where are we? Is this 2012? Beginning of 2012?
I think we're just starting, like we're closing down 2011, starting up 2012.
Okay, got it. And then from looking at, I mean, we really don't have to talk too much more numbers. They're all on these income reports, which again, I'll link on my site. I'll link a link to this. So if you're listening and you want to go see this, but I think it's pretty fascinating. It's pretty telling, and it looks like there's a lot of good advice mixed in with these income reports. But beginning of 2012, you guys were earning $3, $4, $5, $6 a month, and those numbers just slowly climb. $9,000, $7,000, $10,000, $8,000, $12,000, $13,000, 13, 18, 17, 16, 20, 23, 16. So you can see there's a good trend there going up. What do you attribute that growth to from an income standpoint? Was it just putting the focus? I know it wasn't just on your site. Was it collectively doing a focus on monetizing it?
I think it was definitely collectively. I think it helped when I quit my job. It was like our main focus now. Like I didn't have to worry about, retirement coordinating stuff. All I had to worry about was how can we grow our own business. And it's funny because I would spend more time on our blogs because it's so different when you're like building your own business than when you're working and building someone else's business. And so I just started having like this huge passion for wanting to be successful and wanting to inspire other people and help people. And I think, just creative ideas that we have together, we have time now to spend together to talk about those ideas. Whereas before it was like an afterthought, we would get home and we didn't have time.
Okay. So let's talk for a minute. I mean, you guys are doing really well. Are you averaging 20K a month now, roughly? Looking at the last few months, it looks like that's the case.
I know May we did. I think June we're back above 20, and I think July we're there again.
Yeah.
Got it.
So yeah, I mean, we're getting there. And like I said, we just want to keep growing it. There's no doubt.
I'll put my money on this. Jeff kind of shared with me earlier that you guys haven't really been actively building an email list, and if you do anything online, the email is one of the most powerful things you can do to communicate with your audience and create kind of direct response type campaigns. You can post a blog, but then blog post about some promotion or sale or whatever, new book you're coming out or whatever. But it takes people coming back to the site to do that, whereas email, it gets right to them. And if you go back and listen to the Melanie and Devin Duncan interview, they talk about how email just transformed their business. But I will, with the traffic you guys get, I will bet my left hand that within a year you collectively have over 100,000 subscribers, and your income from just things you're doing with email is north of the income levels you guys are seeing now. I know. I mean, just knowing what I know about email marketing and the traffic you're getting, you'll probably have 200,000-300,000 person list with those kind of numbers. So anyway, it'll be interesting to kind of see how that rolls out. But let's talk for a second too, just about lifestyle, and we kind of covered a lot. You guys, one of the things, the big misconceptions people think about the money pillow is that, and a lot of people have this, and I think it's great, but a lot of people think it's just, make money and do nothing, and that's really not kind of at the core purpose what I see the money pillow being. I'm just seeing it more of creating a business that a lot of it can be automated. And is it fair to say you guys, I know, Jeff, you still are working in your practice, so you probably got some hours you have to keep, but do you have total freedom? So if you want to stop right now and go to the water park and spend your afternoon there, is it fair to say you have the ability to do that?
Absolutely, yeah. I own my business. I'm the CEO founder, and I've got staff in place that can take care of it while I'm out. So if we want to go take our kids to, like I said, a water park, or go on a road trip to go visit another blogger like we did earlier this year, I mean, we can do it.
You did that earlier this year?
Yeah.
Where'd you guys go?
Pittsburgh. Never been.
Black and yellow.
2 days prior, we were like, hey, let's go 10 hours and just do it. And we did.
We did. It was fun. I mean,
just spontaneous, picked up, left, and I assume that you didn't work very much while you were on that road trip, and your sites brought in good revenue while you were gone.
Yeah, I did very minimal blogging, and then I actually can't do anything with my financial planning practice when I'm out other than make phone calls. Like I purposely cannot log in and do anything. So I've set that up intentionally.
Oh, that's great. Is that some sort of security encryption on your back end?
Yeah, I'd have to require more stuff on my laptop, and I was like, you know what, I'm not gonna mess with it. If I need to get something done, I'll call back the office, talk who I need to, and they'll get it taken care of.
Got it. So from a lifestyle perspective, you guys are pretty free. You have a pretty total freedom, really. And since you own your own business, even though you do work in it, you have the ability to do what you want. So, and this is the other thing I guess wanted to bring up. It's it's not like you guys work. We have some stories where people work 5 hours a week and just travel and do great. We have some where people work 5 hours a week, make great money, but they're actually using their time to focus on their passions for another business. And then we have cases like yours where you guys are actually putting in. Mandy, yours is more of a part-time schedule with a good full-time wage coming associated with it, and Jeff, you're definitely working a little bit more of a full-time schedule and getting a great income out of that. But you guys are both really passionate about what you do, and you kind of created this freedom to do what you want in the last few years. So I think that's just awesome. So speaking on that, and just talking about the future of your business, where do you see it going? Is it more along the lines of, from a monetization standpoint, similar methods? Or I know, Jeff, you're getting ready to launch a book. Is that a monetization play, or is that a credibility play that feeds?
The book is a money pit. What are you talking about?
Has it been really a big cost for you, or?
Just because I built a brand new website, actually back in 2009 when I got the idea for the book, that I've actually just scrapped. So that's exciting. Just other things. I think for me, it's more of a street cred. Hey, I'm a published author. I talk to some people like, oh, it's great. You'll get new clients out of it. And I'm like, I don't even want new clients. That's the thing. So,
you don't, do you? That's funny.
No, it's to me, it's just, street cred. And then I think for the both of us is just, we have to create our own products. I mean, period. I think,
I was just going to say, man, it's interesting. I don't know. So I don't play around in this space, but I would love to participate in some sort of continuity program based around finances. And I make good money, but it always seems to just disappear as fast as I make it. Mm-hmm. And fortunately, I'm able to always continue. It seems like I'm always on a growth, doing better, so I can live a better life all the time without having to save for those kind of events. But I would love to have better control of my finances. So if you could think of some sort of continuity-based thing where it came with maybe a software or a tool and then training once a month, or a community, like that kind of stuff, I think I would subscribe to for the right price, And when you're talking about money, it's one of those things that they always say that what sells are things that generally make you more attractive to the other sex or same sex, if that's your goal, or create save time or save money or earn money. So those it's like a good little field you're sitting in there, and I could see some sort of continuity product or program. Is anybody doing that in the financial space?
Not. I mean, there's some courses, but they're not really on managing money. I mean, it's all I'm sure Ramit Sethi. I mean, he's got course after course on just different things, from how to land your dream job to boosting your resume to a bunch of other stuff. So Not really. Not that I've seen.
God, yeah. If there was some sort of, there's probably softwares out there like Mint. I don't know if Mint charges or has a subscription based model.
Yeah, they're free. There's a budgeting program. You need a budget.com. It's really slick, but it's focused on budgeting and budgeting only. So, that's I think we're both kind of unique is that we could each create our own product. Like, she has an ebook that she's working on and on her blog, but then we also have the possibility to create a product based on our dollars and roses, helping online entrepreneurs. So that's something that we've also toyed around as well, is like what's going to be the most receptive. And so that's why we're kind of slowly just building up each audience and just seeing what's going to fit. I think it'll naturally come to us. I'm not good at building products. I don't know. It's weird. Like that's just one of my fortes. So I just think whenever it comes to us, it's going to come to us, and we're gonna kill it. I hope.
Yeah, I think you will too. Because you know what? To be honest, like I can see a good merger of the two audiences. More not from finance people being interested in mommy blogger type topics, but more the mommy blogger being interested in household finances. And I could see a good merger there. You're doing that with Rose and what is it? Dollars and Roses. Is that what that site's kind of focused on? Is finances and household stuff, or
no? That's just more of the online income. I know, okay. On her blog, we actually did a joint video talking about I think just money discussion, right, or something.
Yeah, like just struggles with money and our backstory and
yeah, and so I did a guest. Me and her did a joint video for her blog, and it was received very well. We had a lot of comments, and so she's kind of been plugging me a little bit here and there, just to get some traffic and exposure to her audience. So. Yeah, and that's actually why we talked about this before on the call. Like, I'm getting ready to relaunch my site, and I want to really niche down who I'm talking to. I want to focus on young couples. I just think it's natural. We've got young kids. That's us. That's where we're at.
Yeah.
I get a lot of referral traffic from her, and it just makes sense to really because right now my content's kind of scattered. I was trying to be an online publication, like a online Wall Street Journal and just talk about everything. So now it's like I want to just niche it down and be more focused. And I think I'll build more of a community that way.
Yeah, I think you will too. And it'll be probably easier to monetize. But it is hard to kind of think about moving away from what you're doing now, which seems to be working so well from a traffic standpoint.
Yeah, I'm hoping that what's there is there. And there's some other sites I want to model after. I want to give props to nerdfitness.com because I just love his site and what Steve's been able to do with his community. And that's more or less the path I want to follow with Good Financial Sense. Just some crazy long, really good posts, just information, but also fun, not the boring, dry finance, snooze you, put you to sleep. I want to have fun with it. People relate, obviously using video on top of that as well.
Yeah, it seems to be working well. So I guess with that said too, you don't have anything in mind yet, and it's more kind of for the time being, just continue along with the path that you're on. Naturally, it seems like things are going to grow because they are now, but no major plans for any products or anything in the works right now.
I think just I think her ebook is going to be. I really think it's going to be huge for her because it's once again not a lot of mom bloggers take that extra step to produce anything. And so I think that will be a good way to kind of now she goes from just a regular blogger to now she's a quote unquote published Amazon author. And I've already been giving her some other ideas, some other ebooks,
no. He already has the second book idea. Don't let him kid you. He knows what we're doing next.
He's the wild guy.
He has 20 big ideas.
Mandy, what is the topic of your ebook or the title of it?
How to save money building and decorating your dream home. And I'm trying to get him to co-author it with me. It's pretty much written. I've just got to get it formatted. And so it's just, when we built our dream home, we were not rich. We're still not rich, but we definitely weren't rich when we built this house that we're in now 3 years ago. And so I did a lot of research on how to build the house that we wanted, but not spend the money that all these rich people have to spend.
Right.
So just kind of sharing that journey and, since it's how to save money doing that, I thought it would be fun if he would chime in, at the end of every chapter and kind of give his 2 cents. So.
Yeah. And how have you done any, obviously that topic was really important to you and you learned a ton from it and you feel like by sharing that, you're gonna be able to help people. Have you done any surveying of your audience or blog posts on that topic and seen a huge traction, or what motivated you to focus on that?
Yeah, gosh, I guess about a year ago, I put up a home tour page on my blog, And that is when I really started seeing a huge increase in traffic. I started realizing that pictures were like, when they say pictures speak 1,000 words, like if you don't have good pictures, like, I don't know, it can hurt you. So I started realizing how important pictures were. And so I put up pictures of our house and just like kind of a tour. And I still get more people that come to my home tour page than come to my blog, and so Pinterest has helped with that a lot. A lot of people, my home tour pictures have been pinned over like 1.2 million times.
What?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
If your wife is on Pinterest, I'm sure you've seen some. I know that you have. Like, there's no question.
Yeah, that many pins. That's incredible. Okay. So,
anyway.
It blew
is
me
this
away, 'cause I
because
didn't get
people are interested in building a dream home, or is it because they're voyeuristic?
I mean, I just think it's people that like decorating and they want to do more with their own homes. And so they get inspiration from seeing other people's pictures. And so I get people that will email me like pictures of their rooms and be like, tell me what to do. So I just think that the book fits, it fits what people are wanting from me, at least.
What is that board? I want to see it while we're talking. What is it on Pinterest?
Yeah, my Pinterest is pinterest.com/House of Rose. If you go to my blog, at the top, there's a home tour page, and you can see.
On your blog now. Let's see.
You can see at the top where it says home tour.
Oh, yeah, boom, there you go. Interesting. This is the most traffic page outside of, like, one of the highest, most traffic pages on your site?
Yes.
Okay. I'm looking at this now. I can see that. Oh, wow, yeah, you guys have a beautiful home.
Thank you.
Yeah. And you did this.
I decorated everything.
But I like to do everything like on a budget, of course, because he's financially savvy, and so I kind of write about that and talk about it, and so that's why the ebook I feel like fits.
Got it. Yeah. Okay, got it. This is very. You should put an opt-in on here. You already have one. How to build your dream home.
I do. It's at the bottom. But it kind of blends in.
Yeah, I was just trying to find it. There it is.
Yeah.
I would mix these in 3 or 4 times with all these pictures. But God, it looks amazing. You've done a really good job. This looks...
Thank you.
Yeah, your home is beautiful.
Thanks.
And yeah, I mean, it looks like straight... I can see why this has been pinned over 1.2 million times. This has probably driven tons of traffic to your site.
Yeah, it really has.
Oh, here's before and afters. How cool. Wow. Okay, so all right, very cool. So that's the next big play for you. And do you have any expectations for that, or is it more of kind of a personal project you want to get done and whatever happens, or?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I just want to do it, just to have it out there and just to, like Jeff said, to have a product, to take it to the next level. Because there's so many people that blog or have blogs about home decor, but not a lot of people write ebooks or become authors or take the next step. And so I'm just really wanting to see where it goes. I don't really have expectations. He thinks it's going to be received well. I'm more pessimistic, but
Yeah, I hear you on that.
I get more excited about, so I mean, I like her building her platform, me building our platform, but I'm really excited about us, just having that joint fusion together. Like I feel like that is like our play now. And it wasn't until we did another podcast interview that like, hey, you're like the first couple we met that actually have like their own independent blogs, that totally unrelated niche, but then now you've come together and doing your own thing. And it's like, this way, his perception of us was like, wow, I never really thought about it like that.
Awesome. All right, well, let me think if there's anything we didn't cover. I mean, you guys have had a really cool journey. It was, is it fair to say when you look back on your journey, had your intent, I mean, I know this is obvious, but I'm just going to throw it out there, but is it fair to say that if you had intended upon monetizing it from the beginning, you could have reached the level of success you have now a whole lot quicker?
Oh, yeah.
Once again, I had the compliance restriction, so I knew
yours is different, yeah.
A little different, but then again, like, had I known that was even potential, I would have probably pushed to get rid of those compliance, chains earlier. So
yeah, and I think for me, like, my passion for it has grown more, and so it doesn't make sense like 5 years ago that I would have looked at it like a business because I had a job, so yes, I guess if someone would have told me you could be making this much money, I would have been successful quicker, but it's just kind of evolved into this thing that I'm like so passionate about and that I love. So it makes sense that it just took time for me. Is it
nice, instead of working to help build somebody else's business, focusing on your own?
Oh, yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, did you used to dread going to work, or did you like it then still? Or?
Yeah, I would sit at my job every day and be like, oh, I wish I could blog, but I don't want to get in trouble, So
yeah.
And every day I'd be like, how can I take a longer lunch? And how can I leave early? And how can I show up late? And I'm not that kind of person, of course, like my personality is like, I want to be a good employee, but that's what went through my mind at all times.
Well, you were really passionate about it, and I get it. And in fact, I forgot to ask, I was going to ask you earlier, was it tough to quit your job and leave that income?
Yeah, it was very tough because I went to, not only did I get my degree, but I went ahead and got my master's, and I had this job that in our area was a very good job. I mean, it was.
What were you doing?
I was a benefits coordinator for a healthcare company, basically the healthcare company in our area that owns all the hospitals around us. And so I did the retirement plan for every hospital.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I had a very good job, and it was a very big step to leave that because I knew if I didn't like leaving that and coming home and working and doing blogging, I knew that there was no way I would ever find something like that again.
Yeah, it was going to be tough. Jeff, were you nervous about her leaving it, or were you encouraging, or?
I'm the big idea, so I was good with it.
He was like, quit yesterday. He wanted me to quit sooner.
I knew that I needed someone to help, with the blog and just, video and all these other things that I was doing a lot of it myself. And just to have somebody, I had a virtual assistant, but it was hard to have them do some of that stuff, like without actually having, the close communication that I felt I needed. And especially, and also having somebody that was vested, in the business. So
sure.
I was ready for her to quit, but I'm always 18 steps ahead. So, but I know it's been cool for me to see because she is totally. I'm the night owl, like staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning. She's like out by 9 o'clock. But here in the last 6 months, I think like it'll be 10 o'clock, 10:30. I'm looking over. She's still working on her blog, and I'm like, who are you? Like, what happened?
Well, you know what, too? I mean, if you're anything like me, that enthusiasm will wane over time. So capitalize on it.
And that's a cool thing, though. I feel like anytime that we lose focus or maybe we does start to wane, like I feel like there's a new project that comes up. Like for me, it's been video, it's been our podcast, it's been our ebook, my book launch. So there's always been these little things to kind of keep it going, to keep that fire going.
Yeah, little projects within your business that keep it going. And let me ask you this, just backing up just one step. Mandy, were you making six figures or close to six figures at that job before?
Not quite, no.
But
I was making like 50-ish, so like half of that, which to go back, I wasn't working full time at this job either. It was a Monday through Thursday job.
9 to 5.
Which is another reason it was so hard to leave because I was making, $50,000 a year working Monday through Thursday, doing something that was like relatively, what I went to school for. And I really loved everything about it other than I wanted to blog.
Right. In what month did you quit?
It was November of 2011.
That's funny because your first income report was published December of 2011, which was $3,800 roughly, and a year later, you were $15,000 higher.
Yeah.
15,000. Yeah. So I think you made the right decision.
It worked out.
Would you attribute the majority of that rise to you quitting and putting some focus on it and learning all this stuff?
Yeah, I definitely think so because he's very smart when it comes to monetization, but I've been able to also help him implement a lot of his big ideas and a lot of video things that he wasn't able to do before. We do a lot with that now, and I think that definitely helps. I would say. Yeah,
so you've essentially, though, given yourself a considerable raise by doing this within a year. In fact, it looks like within, based on these income reports, within 6 to 8 months, you were at the same level or higher, and now you're definitely beyond that. And yeah, there's no career path out there that you can just work harder in your career and double your income and do that every other year, every year. So I think you guys are on track, and it's going to be awesome to kind of follow your journey. Before I wrap up, either of you guys have any major aha moments where there was like one thing you did that just created a really good return on investment and kind of ongoing, or was it just little things here and there?
I mean, for me, my aha moment was over pictures. It was definitely my home tour because I didn't have any home decor pictures up before I put that home tour page up, and just to see how many people were instantly pinning it and commenting, and I think there's like 600 comments. It was like I'd been trying this whole time to engage people and get people interested in, I was getting traction, but not at the rate I was like hoping for. And so I really realized after I wrote that page, or that I published that page, I really realized the importance of images. And so that's when I started not only taking like my home tour images, but I started learning how to use my camera on manual mode, and started like almost kind of being like an at-home photographer. And I realized that anything that I put on my site, like I wanted my pictures to be that quality. I didn't want to put up anything.
So you took those pictures?
Yeah.
I was going to ask, they look like professionally done. So good job. You're a really good photographer.
Thank you. Well, I'm not. That's the thing. Like, like I said, I just realized after focusing on trying to do those pictures really good, I realized that, images are everything. At least, on my kind of blog.
Yeah, and you know what, too? This, I think, when you're transparent, you show your home like this. I mean, I was just going to ask, did this create kind of a new interest in your audience on home decor type stuff as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now all of a sudden, when you start talking about how to create a wall of 36 pictures that looks like this, people were interested, whereas before there wasn't as much interest. Is that right? Or
yeah, and it's kind of funny because I know a lot of home decor and DIY bloggers. They blog about home decor and DIY, and whenever they try to blog about something else, they try to blog about their family or anything that's not that, people aren't interested. But I think I have kind of an advantage because I started blogging about my family and my life. So when I throw in the home decor, people love that, and so I can kind of blog about whatever I'm feeling, and people are receptive. So I think that's kind of fun.
They're good, yeah. So that's cool. That moment kind of told your niche. I mean, because when I look at these pictures, A, it gives me credibility that you know what you're doing when it comes to decorating and making your home look great. And then B, it also gives you credibility that maybe I should listen to you if you ever offer advice or have anything solid to say, because I can see, obviously, from your beautiful home that you're successful and you're not some broke mom in a basement in a trailer telling me how to save money on my finances or giving me advice on anything. It's just, I don't know, you know what I mean? We have perceptions, and I think naturally as human beings, we put our defenses up, and they're kind of let down when you see somebody successful and coming from a place that they, are qualified, I guess, to give advice or whatever. And not that this really means anything; it's not superficial, but I think from a psychological standpoint, that's how things work. And it's like I could see this being a huge win for you on a number of fronts outside of just the imaging factor.
Yeah.
So, Jeff, what about you? Any huge aha moments that caused big growth in your business, or?
I think the first aha moment was obviously talking to that blogger, several years ago. I shared how much he was making per month. That really made me approach my blog on an entirely different level. I think recently, with the niche sites that I've been able to develop, realizing that there's other markets to really, actually the aha moment was in my financial planning blog, I talked about a lot of things. So instead of talking about a lot, with the niche sites, they were focused on specific topics. And when you niche it down, there's more potential for income. And so I just use a lot of my online connections to be able to get good quality backlinks from some, high PR sites, and use my expertise to be able to write the articles, or at least direct article writers for what they need to write about. And that's been huge. I mean, that's a lot of the income reports that you'll see. And I'm still trying to apply basically that same strategy, replicate it on some other niches, once I get this whole book launch thing done, the money pit / time suck.
Dude, I think in the end, I think you're going to be, I mean, obviously you're doing it for a reason, but I think it's going to bring opportunity that you don't even foresee yet. Everybody I know that's published a book, a lot of amazing things have happened from doing so.
And that's what I'm banking on. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Yeah, and if not, it's been a fun process throwing all your money and time at it, right?
We'll be able to help a lot of people, I think.
I mean, that's the other thing. I mean, I am confident that, there is information that will really help people. I mean, that's the whole point, right? I mean, you don't do books to make money off the book, at least. But no, I'm really confident it's going to help people. So I'm excited. I've had people email me. I get every single day that they had something from my blog that they liked, or that's helped them, somewhere wherever
every
they're
day.
I'm not exaggerating. Every single day, at least one email, if not a couple, and that's awesome. That's so cool. I mean.
Yeah, you can't put a price on that or a value on that. I get it.
Yeah, and that's what, I mean, of all the things that keep me going, obviously that's a huge thing. I mean, it just gives you, a good reward.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, as you were telling me this, and we were talking, or you were just saying about niching it down, I recently had a conversation with a friend of ours, a friend of my wife and I, who was talking about wanting to blog, probably create something similar to what Mandy has. and she's really into fashion. In fact, she gets paid to help people dress better and pick out wardrobes and repurpose clothes and put them together and all this stuff. So anyways, she's like really good with fashion, but she loves home decor, and her home's beautiful too. And it'll be interesting to share this with her, because one of the things that I said to her is you really got to focus more on a niche. And Mandy, it seems like you've done a great job. Kind of, I haven't looked at your content, but I'm assuming it's a little bit all over the place.
Yeah, it kind of is.
And a little bit for everybody. But I think in general, like, that works for this style of blog because your audience is a little all over the place.
Yeah.
Not that they're all over. That's such a bad way to phrase it. But they're interested in things around the home. They're interested in kids. They're interested in saving money and things like that. So, and a lot of them probably are interested in starting their own blog and doing this because it gives them something to be excited and passionate about, other than and really take their focus off of just the kids. Because I know most moms complain that they start to go brain dead being around kids all the time and just doing kid stuff, and they want something to be excited or passionate about outside of that.
That is true.
It is, right? So, all right. So we got your big aha moments. Any? I always ask my guests this, and I'm just curious, oftentimes from a selfish standpoint, but I want you to share too. Are there any great business books or books that you've read that have had a major impact or changed the way you look at things or done things differently? Are you looking at your bookshelf?
Yeah, I just kind of seeing what pops
You guys are
up.
both looking to the right. I love it.
For me, 4-Hour Work Week was a huge one for me. And also, like, I also signed up for a coaching. Not a book, but it's a coaching program I started. I think it would have been 2012, and that has really changed the way that I approach business and life. And I know, and I've also shared some of those principles with her. And
what is this? A make money online coaching program, or?
It's called the Strategic Coach, founded by Dan Sullivan. He's the guy behind it. I don't know if you know anyone that's gone through it, but it's just, I go up there once. It's up in Chicago, about 5 hours from me, and I go up once a quarter. And other entrepreneurs that are all kind of in the same income level, and just has really helped. Just find out what I'm passionate about. Which it's funny that I didn't know that, but not just that, but also what am I passionate about that I can make money from, and that's helped on. It sounds so trivial, but it's so huge. So I've been able to identify, okay, what do I really, really, really enjoy doing? Not that I'm good at. What do I enjoy doing that I also get paid to do? And once I figured out what those things are, then I can put the process in place or put the team in place. So when I film videos, I do 4 or 5 videos in a row because I love doing videos, but I hate editing them.
And Mandy does the editing. Yeah, I forgot to ask. Do you guys have any employees?
We have a virtual assistant, but for the online space, we don't. Mm-hmm. It's just us.
Not
that's
yet.
So great.
Yeah, I could see eventually maybe having some type of project manager of some kind, but right now I think we're doing okay. I know, I'm trying to get to the point where I feel comfortable where when some stuff she's doing, like editing video, she's good at it, but that's not her unique ability. So I want to be able
Mandy doesn't lay in bed at night and go, dude, make another video. I can't wait to go edit it.
I love when we do 8 in a day.
Woo!
So I definitely would like to get to the point where I could bring somebody on to relieve her of some of those duties so she can focus more. I sometimes feel selfish because I know that, she's been helping, huge with the book launch and whatnot. And so it's...
Oh, no. I've been helping ridiculously amount with his Pinterest ability since he's lacking any Pinterest and image skills. So now if you go to his blog and you see any cool pictures, that would be me.
That's all Mandy. Oh, I love it.
He'll send me posts every day, here's 5 posts that have no images. You need to go add your Pinterest love. And so...
Oh, my God. Yeah, I can only imagine. Yeah, I'm bad with that too, Jeff. And unfortunately, I've got some good people in place that
help out.
That help with that, yeah. All right, very cool. So, and Mandy, there was no books that you've read that have been...
Actually, yeah, I was going to say John Acuff wrote a book just recently that got released called Start. And I met John Acuff at a conference that I went to, but love that book. It was kind of like getting over the fear of rejection, and it's called Punch Fear in the Face. So it was a great book. It really helped me with my ebook because I've been wanting to write an ebook for a couple of years, but I've never started. And so kind of after that book, I was like, all right, I'm going to do this.
Was the book called Start or Punch Fear in the Face?
It's called Start, yeah.
Okay, it's called Start.
By John Acuff, yeah.
By John Acuff. I'll link that underneath this article, underneath this post over on themoneypillow.com. And this is the last question, and then we'll wrap up. Have you done anything, or is there anything that's worked really well for you from an automation standpoint that's freed you up from doing a lot of things or a lot of time and energy? In other words, have you automated any processes within your business that streamline things, or put people in place that are doing a lot of work that was time consuming for you in the past and kind of freed you up to focus on?
Once again, for me, which didn't free up her time, was, the video editing. That was huge for me because I love doing video, and it was just time suck having to edit everything, obviously.
And knowing that you don't have to edit it, are you more motivated to do them and doing them more frequently?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, exactly, yeah. Because, why would I film 5 in a day when it would take me 3 weeks to get them edited and uploaded? Now, if we film on a Tuesday morning, I'll come back home, and she has them all done, which I'm like, I don't tell you, you don't have to do them all, but she does because it's just her personality.
That's just my personality. I have to get it, if it's on my to-do list, I have to get it off my to-do list.
Yeah. Just out of curiosity, your videos are what, 3 to 4 minutes long?
Roughly, yeah.
And how long does it take you, Mandy, to take a rough cut and get it down to 3 to 4 minutes?
Maybe 45 minutes to an hour. I'm definitely not a professional. I could probably do that faster, but I'm getting better, but probably 45 minutes to an hour. I'm also a perfectionist, so...
Jeff, how long does it take you to, or how many do you shoot a week?
On a good week, probably 4 on average, in the mornings. And
so 4. So you're spending roughly, Mandy, 4 hours a week doing this video editing?
Yeah.
I don't know if you know what James Wedmore did. So James Wedmore, we both know. James is the content producer or the brains behind Video Traffic Academy, the product that my company publishes. And I had a conversation with James. Did you hear about how he hired somebody to do all his editing?
Mm-mm.
Did you hear this story? So James ran an ad. He's in Laguna Beach, and he ran an ad in L.A. and in the L.A. Craigslist, which he uploads all of his files over Dropbox, and the guy never comes to his place and does it. So you could do this from Chicago. And the reason why I think L.A. is such a good market is because of Hollywood and the types of people in L.A. There's just a lot of people that know a lot about video and video editing. And he ran an ad on Craigslist, got overwhelmed with responses, sent a blanket email to everybody. This was for a $15 an hour video editing job with a promise of minimum of 5 hours work a week. So he's promising somebody $300 a month to edit all of his videos, which is about 20 videos a month. And he had literally over 100 responses, sent blanket email, and just said, okay, I know this might sound ridiculous, but I got so many responses. Send me back a video displaying your skills, any community time length, but just the topic is going to be about how to tie your shoes. And he had over 20 responses, so over 20 videos, including one guy who did stop animation. Yeah, and literally, remember that song that was big a few months ago? I forget what it's, the Harlem Shake.
Shuffle. We did that actually.
There's a Harlem Shake video of the Rose household.
Yeah, so someone did stop motion to that, showing tying your shoes and then shoes partying together and whatever. But anyway, so he got over 20 responses, I think, to that, and found the guy that he works with now, and pays him $75 a week, and all of his video editing's done. So.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, my life might be changed. I'm writing all this down, by the way.
You know what, Jeff? You should go into the Facebook group of Video Traffic Academy and ask James if he has the ad copy, or just spend 5 minutes and start and throw it on Craigslist and see what happens.
Yeah. No, I think we're gonna have to do that.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Because I'd feel better for her. Because I'd love for her to be able to focus more time on her stuff than crap.
Yeah, I would imagine it would be a better ROI than doing that. But anyway, so that's cool. And sorry to climb on a high horse or something. I just heard that and thought of you and thought of that.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you shared that.
Yeah, and let me know how that works out. In fact, yeah, it'll be interesting. I'd love for you to share, if in a couple weeks or a month or however long it takes, if that does work out and it's working well, come over to the blog and leave a comment about it. So if anybody's listening to this after, what is today, August 20th, they can go back over there and check and see and I'll bug you, actually, and ask you to come back over and see how it worked out.
Stay honest. We need to do that. That's
yeah.
Well,
little things like that can make such a huge difference. I know for myself and the most people I've interviewed, it's when you start to let go of all these little tasks like this that you really start to see growth. And if it's not necessarily growth, you'll start to just have a better quality of life because you have more time to really focus on. And if it's business, fine, you can focus more on your business and the things you're passionate about as opposed to the tasks. So awesome. All right, well, where can people connect with you outside of your websites? Are you guys on Twitter? Do you have a fan page, Instagram?
Everything.
Yeah. Oh,
We're everywhere. I'm House of Rose, usually on anything. So Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, Instagram. I'm House of Rose everywhere.
House of Rose. And Jeff, I know you're on Facebook. Are you on Twitter and all of that? Or?
Yeah, on Twitter, I'm Jeff Rose. There's 2 J's because Jeff Rose from Canada got it before I did. But Good Financial Sense, CNTS, that's pretty well everywhere else. I think on Instagram, I'm Jeff Rose, and Twitter, I'm Jeff Rose. But
I can't believe. Are you guys active both on Instagram?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about Twitter?
Yep.
Yeah.
Man, and I don't think either of us have. I've known you guys. I've known Jeff and Mandy for a while. And I'm on Instagram every day, and it's funny that we haven't connected. That happens to me all the time. I have really good friends on social media, and then all of a sudden it's like they add me, or I'll find them, and I'm like, what?
What are you under?
Sean Malarkey.
Okay, I'll find you.
We'll add you.
So awesome. Likewise. All right, and if anybody's listening to this on the podcast and you want to connect with Jeff or Mandy, I will put links to that stuff if it's okay with you.
Yeah.
Sites people can reach out. So, all right. Well, very cool. I really appreciate you guys coming on. It's fun to kind of learn about your business and what you're doing, and I love you really have. I mean, is it fair to say you guys make money while you sleep every night?
I think the cool thing for me was when I launched the book here, I did a pre-sale through Shopify.
Yeah,
and
I saw that
that's
screenshot.
the first time I ever, I guess, released a product people could buy, and literally woke up, checked my phone, and saw like the orders coming through, and so that was really literally, that's the making money while you sleep. So that was like cool to kind of actually have that.
Yeah, but you guys generate a lot of revenue too through like AdSense and some other sites, and I'm sure that happens all throughout the night, right?
Yeah, we do. I just don't get the emails though, so this was like cool to actually have that.
Instant gratification, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that, and I know, Mandy, when you release your ebook, you'll go through something the same, and I'll link up all that stuff too on the site at a later date whenever it comes out as well. So I'm happy to support you guys. So cool to see your journey. I love it. I mean, you guys are a really cool husband and wife team. You're working together. You're doing fun stuff and stuff you're passionate about, as opposed to trying to figure out how you can get out of work. And it'll be interesting to see how your future is. I think it's going to be pretty neat. I know you guys will grow far beyond where you are now, and it's going to be fun to kind of follow your journey. So anyway, huge thanks to you guys. I appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, it was fun.